there's been a ton of stuff going on in the NBA. Luka's going crazy, Jokic is going crazy, Embiid and Harden are going crazy, KD is going crazy, a bunch of stuff is going on. So I understand why no one is paying attention to LaMelo Ball and the Hornets right now, but LaMelo Ball is doing something right now that I think we all should start paying attention to. At the time of this recording, LaMelo Ball is taking 11.2 three-pointers a game, and he's only played 11 games so far this season, so you may be thinking that's not a good enough sample size, but like I said, he's played 11 games this season, right, and he's taking 11 per game. Last season, he only took 7 per game, but if you look at his last 40 games of his career, he's up to 9.1 threes per game in the last 40. So this was clearly a trend at the end of last year, and he's continuing into it. If you look at his last 25 games in his career, he's taking 10.1 threes per game. I'm saying that to say is I don't think this is just a small sample size thing. And some of you guys may not know this, but the most three-pointers ever attempted per game in a season was James Harden in 2018-19, where he took 13 threes per game. The second most ever was Steph Curry 2 years ago, where he took 12.7 threes per game. Then it's James Harden at 12.4, and then it's 4 seasons where Steph Curry took 11 threes per game. Other than that, other than James Harden and Steph Curry, no one has ever taken 11 threes per game. And other than those two guys, the only players that have ever taken 10 threes per game for a season are Damian Lillard and Buddy Hield. So what I'm saying is LaMelo Ball is doing something very historic right now, and no one's talking about it. And it's not only that he's shooting 11 threes per game, it's that he's making 38% of them. You add elite playmaking to that and you have one hell of a player. Now, I'm not sure LaMelo Ball taking 11 threes is the best thing for your team. Maybe you'd like him to utilize his size and get to the rim more, get to the free throw line more. Maybe you'd like him to explore the mid-range game a little bit more than he does, but the ability to get 11 threes off is a special ability, as you can see by the fact that if he sustains it, he will be one of 3 players ever to do that. And when you shoot that many threes, it gives you a lot of margin for error. We've seen it a lot with Steph Curry and James Harden, who could be playing terrible and all of a sudden they hit 5 threes in a quarter, and it looks like they're having an amazing game. We've been seeing that from LaMelo Ball, as well as him just playing amazing. He's making his teammates better. May not show up in the win column, but it's been fun watching LaMelo Ball. And like I said, this was predictable to a certain extent. I did not see him being on par with Steph Curry and James Harden as far as three-point attempts. But I absolutely could have imagined him taking 8-9 threes a game this season, because like I said, at the end of last season, he was trending upward. And when LaMelo Ball was drafted, the question around him was obviously his three-point shooting, but also just how he was going to score in the NBA. And people did not think he would be a prolific three-point shooter. But the fact that he's shooting so well and so often from 3 is helping disguise some of the other flaws in his game, like the lack of an ability to get to the rim and fight through contact, the lack of explosiveness, the lack of a mid-range game so far, which I think he has in him, we just haven't really seen it so far. But the 3-ball, it hides a lot of that. So much so that when LaMelo actually does develop these other things, when he gets stronger, when he starts getting to the free throw line, when he's able to take advantage of smaller defenders, being that he's 6'7", LaMelo actually might turn into one of the best scorers in the NBA. And that is definitely not something I would have predicted coming out of the draft. But that's just how I feel about the situation. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you think LaMelo is going to continue shooting 11 threes per game? Do you think it's going to drop? I don't see it dropping below 10 if we're being honest. So let me know what you guys think about all that down in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.